was young, never had a brain for trees. Slush puppy kids swap brain for freeze. ES the game changer, I changed degrees. Cause a blizzard anywhere.
Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a new video. So this video is just going to be like a little series, I guess. And yeah, so welcome to this My Sunday League. Yeah, hope you like this video. So today's formation is a 4-4-2 with Ben and Charlie up front, me and Scott in the middle of defence, and Will doing goals, Sam Richard on the left and Charlie Souch on the right. So going into the first half, Stonesfield kick us off and they came on attack quite quickly, but our defence with Charlie Souch gets it out quite good. So Charlie Souch gets it up the field and we do a few knock-ons, but their defence gets away and gets rid of it. Then the striker plays again to the left mid, and there's Miles, our pacey right winger, comes and does some quality defending for Charlie Souch. Charlie Souch is not looking, so I have to tell him to go mark someone, but he doesn't, so I have to try and defend, but striker number 3 doesn't get anywhere. Wildor goes and kicks it up the field, and then there's Charlie Pierce who heads on. Harvey gets the ball on the left wing, but doesn't go far with it, goes off the pitch. And then their striker comes on the attack, but Scott's there just to pass it back to Will, which is easy to do with Will picking it up. He then does one of his big kicks. Charlie Pierce is there again with Ben, and our midfielder heads on, but it doesn't get far. Here's Ben on the right wing, goes to cross it in, and Charlie Pierce is there but can't get much of it, and their defence gets rid of it quite good. So it then goes to their right wing and he puts it in the our defence where Scott's there just to make a few tackles, and then there's me with the left foot out who was a good free ball to Charlie Pierce, who runs on to doesn't get far. They then have a throw in on their right side, but it doesn't make much of it. It goes in the midfield and we can get it away with Ben passing it to our pacey winger Miles, who paces it down the right wing, but then cuts inside, but it goes out ball. Then Jack scores a tap in from just outside the box, and it's 1-0 Chadlington. So then the ball bounces over mine and then Scott's head and goes straight to Will, who then does one of his big kicks into Charlie Pierce to head it on. And then there's Ben to try and run onto the ball, but doesn't get much of it. Their keeper then whacks it up the pitch, but doesn't get far. And then their striker number 3 comes in, and Ben's there to try and tackle, but I'm there and I get rid of it to our right midfielder Ben, to Miles actually, to go and pass it to Harvey, and it then goes in the net. So it's a good goal by Harvey. Charlie Souch got plenty of time there, chests it on the field, chests it on his chest, and then puts into their defence, who then heads it, and Charlie Souch gets rid of it by a throw-in from number 3 behind him. So then they go and do a throw-in that goes over my head, but our midfielder Jack is there to help me get it away. Their number 10 in the middle passes it back to their centre-back, who whacks it up there to their other centre-mid, who then goes on to the right but doesn't get far. And then the ball bounces over mine and Scott's head, but Charlie's there and Scott's there to keep number 3 off the ball, and Will does one of his big kicks. Ben tries to do another got on his bike and run, and then their midfielders tap it along to their number 3 striker, who runs onto it but does a poor shot into Will's hands. Will picks it up, runs out to the back and whacks it up the field, but their defence just gets rid of it with their midfield help. Sam's there to help Harvey with it, but it doesn't get far. Ben's there on the run, but their defence comes and tackles him. Charlie's there, chest with again, and I'm there just to get rid of it nicely. Who then gets their right wing, I think, their left back to head it out. Charlie Pierce is there to try and get the ball, but number 3 heads on. Scott said to help me out just to get it out. Not sure if he was going for the shot, but it doesn't go over the keeper's head, which he was wishing for. Keeper then has it in his hands, kicks it out, doesn't get far. Their right wing knocks it on, but Scott's there to try and get rid of it, but makes a bad decision, goes straight to their number 10, who has a bad touch and can't get much of it. Scott's there just to whack it out, as he had some pressure from their midfielder, who's quite far up the pitch. They then had a throw in. I'm not sure if our marking was good, but then there's Sam Richardson to do a double head and to get it away from Harvey. Doesn't get far, and then they get a cross in, and I'm there just to head it out before it goes any further. So I'm there trying to get the head because I got everyone's marked. They had like a little cheeky shot, but I'm there again just to head out of play in case they scored. So the corner comes in. I'm there to try and tackle it, but the ball doesn't go out by Charlie Souch, and Miles there just to whack out a play with Charlie Pierce, trying to get a turn but doesn't get far. Charlie Souch is here and passes it to Jack, who has a good touch and does a little cheeky nutmeg there. Miles there passes back to Jack, so it has good play there. Miles tries to get down the wing to Ben, but can't get any farther. Then midfielders pass it around with number 10. Charlie Souch gets out the field and whacks it up the pitch. Here's Ben on the run again, but their defence gets rid of it. And Charlie Souch then has another throw in, but doesn't get far. They then had a throw in on their left back, but it goes over my head again. But Scott's there just to make a few tackles and headers, and he's there again with a tackle, but ref gives it as a free kick. So the free kick comes in, real marked up, but it goes over the goal, and Will had it covered. So then Will does one of his kicks with Jack in the middle trying to put his hand up to try and get the ball, but he goes the other side to Ben, and their defence does not really do very well with it. But then their midfielder knocks it in, and their number 3 goes round Will and knocks it in for a 2-1. Here's a look at replay. No, 3-1 now. Here's a replay. Goes round Will, knocks it in. Chad 3, Stones 1. So there's Will talking to me about my vlog, this is, saying that he doesn't want that goal to be on there. So then Connor, our midfielder, knocks it at the play, but doesn't get far. Their midfielder can knock it up to the number 3, but Scott's here to try and tackle him, but he doesn't really know what to do, and just leaves him to go up wide. Brings it into their midfielder, and I try and make a block, but it goes out to their right wing, but Sam's there just to make a tackle. Charlie Pierce knocks it onto Harvey, who knocks it onto again, but unfortunately gets stuck and runs out of play with a tackle from their defence. Charlie Souch there tries to do a touch onto me, but Scott's there, just a little cheeky turn, and it goes up the field. Out for a goal kick, but the keeper gets it. Keeper then whacks up the pitch, but our player knocks onto Charlie Pierce, who goes and chips it over the keeper for a 4-1. Lovely finish by Charlie Pierce once again in this match. So here's a little replay. Knocks it onto Charlie Pierce, who knocks it over the keeper. Lovely finish from Charlie. 4-1 to Chad. This moment, Chad were playing alright. So their defence knocks it up to the play. Charlie Souch does not go and get it, but there's no midfield, so he whacks it up the play when their defence trying to get rid of it. Then their midfielder knocks up the pitch to their number 3. Scott's there again with the pace, but Will there had it covered. So he then does one of his big kicks up the field, and Ben tries to run onto it, but their defence is there just to head it out to their midfielder number 10. Then they have another free kick by me for a bad challenge. Goes on to number 10, not sure if that was a handball, but our midfielder can knock it onto Ben. He knocks it onto Miles, but doesn't get far and gets tackled. So there's number 16, Miles, who knocks onto Charlie Pierce to Ben. Does not know what to do. Ben tries to get back out to Miles, but he gets tackled by a block. So then Ben gives it back, but their defence get rid of it. And now their midfielder, number 10, gets tackled by Scott. Scott has a go, but doesn't go far past the post. Here's a little controversial thing with number 10. With Will. Apparently he handballed it, but outside the box, but it wasn't. So comment down your thoughts on that video. But it actually hit his knee. Charlie Souch is there just to head it out to Scott. He knocks it down the field, but their defence get rid of it. I'm there again with some pressure, but I get rid of it nicely to our midfielder Harvey. Charlie Pierce is there but he actually gets tackled by the click of the legs, but the ref does not give it. So then they have a corner. There's a bit of pushy, and then I go for the head, but I actually get headbutted by their number 13. Charlie touches there with the left ball with a little bit of work to do. Their number 7 has a shot, but it gets blocked again for another corner. The corner comes in, and I try and head it, but I actually got pushed at that, and I actually called someone on the pitch that my manager did not like. Their midfielder comes in, then has a shot, but Charlie touches there on the floor with a good block, and Will does a lovely save. Will does one of his big kicks up the field to Ben to run on, but it doesn't get far. So their midfielder knocks onto their number 3. Charlie Souch is lost out, and Scott pressures him, and he just knocks it into Will's hand. So then they have another free kick from Scott, but doing a bad tackle. So all lined up, and then they knock it in, and then they get a headers. And there's a high foot that we got the tackle. So now it's half time. It's Chadlington 4-1 and Stonesfield 1. Our midfielder manager was happy with us. Going into the second half now, it's 4-1 still. They had to wear bibs because they couldn't see their own players. And their keeper could get the ball. Then their defender tried and get it back to their keeper, Joe, but he made a mistake, and Charlie Pierce was there on his deck, I guess, and took it around the keeper. Here's a replay. Charlie Pierce was alert, and he was right by the corner of the goal, but manages to kick it in the net. It's a good finish by Charlie. So now it's 5-1 to Chad. Then I had a free kick again from me, and it goes over the wall, and Will Dorr had it covered. Here's Ben trying to get the ball back, but makes a bad tackle, and they have a free kick. Then Charlie Pierce has it on the right, knocks it in, but no one can get it. And here's Jack with this little cheeky little showboat trick here, which I loved. Here's a replay. Well played, Jack. Then Ben gets it and crosses it in. Their defence gets rid of it, and their midfielder does a lovely ball through the middle of our defence, where me and Scott were too far up, and their striker comes around the keeper, but Will does a very good save. I try and make a tackle, but Scott's there to do an amazing tackle and gets it out for a corner. We have a corner up the other side, as you might have saw me with the yellow boots running in. But it doesn't get far as my head. But there's number 12 Harvey, but can't make much of it. Here's Connor with another tackle. Gets the ball, passes it back to Connor. Connor gets tackled, and they're on the attack to us. He knocks out of the pitch, but don't get far with Will, doing a lovely catch-up. So their defence trying to get rid of it. And their number 3 holds the ball, plays it through the middle, but there's Scott to get the ball again. Ben trying to make a few more tackles, but he does lovely and doesn't get the ball, but they do a miss pass, and it goes on to our left wing, but he can't do much. Then they have a free kick just outside the box with a bad tackle from me. Their number 7, who didn't look our age, took it, and it hit the side netting. So coming up to the end of the match now, we were, I guess, had more possession, but they was attacking us very well. Scott's up the pitch now, gets that wide to Ed, crosses it in, but their defence heads it out, and they can get rid of it. There's Jack again with the chest. He passes it back to Connor, but gets tackled. And here's Sam with the ball. So guys, that's the end of this first video for my Sunday League experience. It was a great win. As you guys actually do know, we won 6-2, I think, with Charlie Pierce, my mate, scoring a hat-trick. So, well done, Charlie. And let's go on to the next game, which is against Launton, I think, away. Not sure if I'm going to video it, but if you want me to, then don't forget to smash that like button, and I will know that you want me to do it again. So yeah, hope you like this video, and I shall see you again on my next video. Peace out. Adios.